So we've got through the program very successfully so far. In addition, the debt restructuring is now pretty much completed. And I don't think many of us realize how complex that was. So the country has gone through a lot, come out of it very successfully so far, but there's absolutely no grounds for complacency. Because we are still very much, I would say, more closer to the beginning rather than the end of getting to the point where we need to be. You know, and one thing that is really noteworthy is, and unusually for Sri Lanka, across 3 presidencies, we have managed to have consistency in the policy framework.
Speaking at the 46th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Export Credit Issuance Corporation, Dr. Kumaraswamy pointed out that Sri Lanka has undergone 17 IMF programs reflecting the persistent macroeconomic stress. He attributed this stress to the government's budgetary outcomes driven by a combination of populist policies and an entrenched entitlement culture.
17 IMF programs reflects that fact, the fact that we were constantly having macroeconomic stress. So what has been done about that? So if you recall, the underlying cause of the macroeconomic stress invariably has been the government's budgetary outcome. We've had a toxic combination of populist policies and an entrenched entitlement culture amongst the people. And the two have fed off each other. And we've had a kind of negative feedback loop which has dragged the country down time and again. And each time we have an IMF program, we make some progress. And we've been here before in terms of doing the stabilization well. But as soon as an election comes, everything gets reversed. Lee Kuan Yew said elections in Sri Lanka are auctions of non-existent resources. You know, there is a tendency in Sri Lanka to say that the macroeconomic management is the business of the Treasury and the central bank and leave it aside. You have seen when the macro goes wrong, everybody suffers. Everybody suffers. So the public sector, the private sector, civil society, everybody, if they see these laws being loosened or relaxed or diluted, the whole country should shout. Because this fiscal rule is critical. But on top of that, invariably what happened in the past is that the large budget deficits pumped excess demand into the system, which caused inflation and leaked into imports and put pressure on the balance of payments.